Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, May 17th. I'm Giovanni Betancourt. I am an analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. We began the day with looking at the NASDAQ, how it is moving higher. The 13,600 level is where I have placed my resistance, but we could be facing an exhaustion in the Nasdaq. It has been making higher highs, and as a point, we need to, if the market could probably do some correction and retracement. Okay, and if that's the case, we can use the Fibonacci retracement tool to calculate or have an idea where that retracement would be. So we'll use this low where this last movement began, and the high of yesterday. So if the market is to retrace, then we could use the 0.38 marker as the normal percentage of retracement if the trend is strong. But if we need to go deeper, then we'll use the 0.618% as to that. So we can do two things. If we see that the market is retracing, we can obviously enter a short position and use the 0.38 as our target initially. If the market, if we do enter that, let's say somewhere around the marker of 13,500, we could use the level of the 0.23 as our initial support, and then the other ones we should be a target, and then the other one 0.38. And if we obviously continue to trade below that, we could use somewhere in between the 0.50 and the 0.618 if the market is to continue to make a retracement. Now, if the market is to continue making this movement to the upside, we can use the Fib extension, Fibonacci extension, so that we can measure just how much of this movement could be. Now, we can go ahead and use either the to make it shorter, we can use the movement from the 10th of May, or we can use the movement from the beginning of the month, the 4th of May. So the reason will be that if we use the from the 4th of May, is more of a bullish scenario, for us to calculate this. So therefore, we can use the initial 0.33 as our resistance, which is obviously the high of yesterday. If the market is to continue moving higher, we need to obviously break yesterday's high or come back to yesterday's high. So we can use that as our initial target if you're not too confident that the market will continue to move higher. And then if we do happen to continue to move higher, we can use the psychological value of 13,600, which is right about where I have my resistance. So that'd be your second target. And then we could use the 0.38 and the 0.618 as our Fibonacci the golden ratio of the Fibonacci tool. So we could probably stipulate that the market will continue to move higher. So each of these levels, we can use them as our resistance. The 0.50 is not a Fibonacci number, but it is in there, so we could probably use that. But we gotta keep in mind that we are almost entering the overbought territory, so that could probably bring us somewhere around between the 0.23 and our resistance of 13,600 in the Nasdaq. Okay, so that's that for the Nasdaq, and let's take a look at what the S&P is doing. Well, S&P did open with a small gap up, and we are trading within yesterday's range. Okay, so that could be a scenario where we could probably say that the market is looking for some more participants to come and bring it back up to 4150. Initially, we are trading above the 50 marker on the RSI, so we could probably continue to speculate that the market could probably make another move attempt to the upside if things don't change, depending on what scenario could be happening in the markets internally right now. We are seeing that we are retracing from that high into the market. Okay, so let's initially wait and see if 4130 could be our level of support, and see if the market will stop here and then continue its movement to the upside. As far as the Dow goes, 33,000 is our support level, then 33,500 is our resistance. Initially, we want to use those round psychological numbers, 33,300, 30,400, to see if the market will continue to move higher. But obviously, we want to, if the market does happen to retrace, then 33,100 will be somewhere where we'll wait and see if the market will find that support here and continue to move to the upside, or somewhere between yesterday's low. But for right now, yeah, the market could probably tell us that we're moving higher. As far as for crude oil goes, well, we have looking to make an attempt at reaching $74. The RSI is on a 45-degree angle, so that is an indication of a strong impulse, of a strong momentum to the upside. And so therefore, let's wait and see if we can revisit the $74 marker that has been a strong resistance level. So being bullish on crude oil in the morning. As far as Nat goes, we see that we are creating a doji, okay, in this chart, which means an imbalance of the market participants. All right, so we are looking to see if it will break out of this, but the way of reading it is that market participants did take the market higher yesterday. It did close lower than where it opened. Okay. Today we opened with a gap, a small gap down. It has been closed. So therefore, the sensation could be that the market is going to enter in some sort of a profit taking, if not. So therefore, we can come and use that Fibonacci retracement tool again to calculate where that 38% will be if, and that's exactly where we are. Okay, so if the market is to continue with this movement to the upside, it should find support around this level and then continue. If it needs to do a deeper retracement, then we can use a 0.61, the golden ratio, as our probable target, which is where I have my support at 220, and then see if we find some buyers around this area between the 0.50 and the 0.61. Okay, so those are two scenarios that we could probably see in Nat Gas. As far as far as gold goes, we are looking to break this 19, or at least it's violating the 1980 support level. Okay, the RSI is below 50 and it is pointing towards even lower. So we want to use the previous days lows of these wicks. So initially, 1970 could be a potential level for support if it's not found now in this level. Okay, for those that are aggressive, you could try to come in and sell the market at this moment, and then have your target at 1970. For those who want to be more conservative, you could probably use more likely wait to see if that's the case, that's a scenario, or if we actually happen to find a support here. We are not one in a daily chart, so you could probably most likely want to change time frames. All right, but as for now, I'm looking that this level could be a level of support, and let's see if we could find some buyers around this level. Then we have silver that is doing another doji. So will this doji imply that sellers have been exhausted and then some more buyers are coming in to help the market find that bottom? And that could probably be it. We have created a double bottom here, so this doji could be that particular indication where the market has found a bottom of 2360, and then it'll turn around and make another attempt at going back higher. $24 initially, it being a psychological round number, will be our resistance. Then we have copper, which is nicely trading higher. We actually have traded above yesterday's range. We are retracing, however, now into yesterday's range. So we could probably, let's see if we'll find some support around the yesterday's open, with this candle open, which is around 3.74, and then continue to move to the upside. Bitcoin is losing ground, is trading below 27,000. So let's see if this movement to the downside will continue. 26,400 is a psychological support level. Initially, 26,000 is my support. Then we have the currencies, which have been trading lower since the dollar index has been gaining some strength. So therefore, 108 is that psychological support level. I have it have my briefly below that, but we could probably have found that support in the currencies. The pound as well is trading lower, but let's see if that's the case because the dollar index has made a strong move to the upside this morning. So let's see if it'll lose power, if you lose momentum, and then just continue or to retrace back down to 102,500 initially. I have my support at 102,200. Well, that's it for me today. I have a webinar starting today at 7 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Central Time. I invite you. It's completely free where I'll be talking about market breadth, VIX, short-term patterns, okay, and the adage of sell in May and go away. So I hope you join me. It's completely free. You'll find the link in my bio. Have a nice trading day, and I'll see you hopefully later on today.